Hey everyone, I'm awesome, and welcome back to another week of drawing Fire Emblem Heroes. This week we pulled Eleonora. I did mention stuff about Tokyo Mirage Sessions last week, but the design of this character is just so crazy. I've never drawn anything with such bright colors since I was like a child and I didn't understand color theory and how colors work and everything. And as I'm talking, I am currently actually drawing this because usually I record the audio after I finish drawing, so I know exactly what I'm doing. Now, I thought this time I'd actually record the audio while I'm drawing because I'm just at a loss for words as I'm drawing when I'm looking and taking the colors from the actual character reference and putting them onto the sheet. It's just crazy how bright these colors are. And I just want to know, future me, have I pulled this off? Does it look good? Please, future me, edit in the text right now. Like, edit in right now. Does it turn out well? Do you think it turns out well? Anyway, aside from future me either praising my art or telling me that it's the worst thing I've ever created. Yeah, Tokyo Mirage Sessions again. Like I briefly covered it last week. Tokyo Mirage Sessions was a crossover between the Shin Megami Tensei series and Fire Emblem. And it had been a long time in the making. Like I think I vaguely remember them showing the actual trailer off where it was like all the Shin Megami Tensei characters and then some of the most popular Fire Emblem characters, and everyone's like, whoa, they're actually doing this? There was like a lot of hype around it. Like, I remember the hype. I think at the time I'd just gotten into Persona with Persona 4, and I'd not really heard of the Shin Megami Tensei series before, but I was trying to get into it because, I got into Persona, I'd googled a lot into Persona, and I was like, it's a spin-off series of Shin Megami Tensei. I picked up a couple of Shin Megami Tensei games on the 3DS at the time because in Europe, we had a done deal. We didn't get that many Shin Megami Tensei games or Persona games at all. Like, Persona 2 really only released the PSP version here. Persona 1 does not exist in the UK or Europe, and the only time that actually got released was when the PS1 Classic came out, and we all know how that went. But yeah, it's Europe, just not a fun day if you like Shin Megami Tensei or Persona or anything. So the only games I got out of that whole thing were the 3DS games. Like, I think Apocalypse was on pre-order, so I pre-ordered that. We didn't get a physical copy of Shin Megami Tensei 4. Now, I only got that recently because I have American 3DS now, so I can play American 3DS games. A couple of Devil Survivor games, and Soul Hackers, the original Soul Hackers as well. They were okay, they were quite fun. I mean, some of them had like first-person perspective, and I feel it's a bit dated now. What with Persona 4 basically being my first game, and it was like a top-down third-person game. I liked that, where you could just sort of run around, see your character run around and do different things, but I liked when your character could run around and you could just sort of interact with people rather than hoping to God you don't have an encounter and that sort of thing. Yeah, I just feel like some of them need to be remade. But yeah, that's beside the point. But yeah, I'd just gotten into Shin Megami Tensei. I hadn't actually played a Fire Emblem game at that point either. The first Fire Emblem game I actually played was Fire Emblem Fates Conquest, which, as a newbie, probably not the best move because Conquest was the harder version, but I genuinely enjoyed it. I like Fates. I know a lot of people don't like Fates. I like Fates. It's fun. It's cheesy. It doesn't make sense, especially Revelations. My god, I thought, is that it? When I finished the game. Fire Emblem I got into a little bit later, but I was a bit intrigued that Nintendo were doing this crossover with Shin Megami Tensei, and we all know how that went, unfortunately, in the end. There was a lot of potential there, but it didn't live up to the hype, and unfortunately people didn't like it nearly as much. I mean, you can even tell by the amount of heroes that are in Fire Emblem Heroes. Just the original 5 they threw in there, and that's it. They've not touched it since, which it's a shame because there are so many different characters they could throw in there, and they do keep appearing, on the Choose Your Legends polls. I just hope that one day the intelligence systems will pick up on the fact that people actually like the idea and they just wanted to see it better executed, really. So that's pretty much it for my ramblings this week. I'm still drawing as we speak, but hopefully it turns out all good. And yeah, see you next week for another Drawing Fire Emblem Heroes video. See ya!